Welcome to a new episode of Prende Magia. Today I have a very special guest, and I've been wanting to talk about women in construction. I think it's one of the biggest things that we've been seeing increasing in this 2024. And today my guest, it's Yesenia Tijerina, and she's gonna be, well, first of all, welcome to Prende Magia.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's an honor. It's an honor having you here. And we're going to dive into talk about women in construction and how you guys are making the difference in this field. But before we jump to anything else, I would love for you to present to this community of Prende tu Magia and let us know who is Yesenia Tijerina.
Yes, so I'm born and raised from the Valley. Between the border of Reynosa and FAR. Most of my family lives in Mexico, and so most of my childhood I spent it in Mexico. And then, I went to college at A&M, so I'm an Aggie. And after college, I had this thought that the Valley was not going to be the place for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I think because of the industry that I wanted to go into. Living here, I did see a lot of housing development, but not a whole lot of building development. I think both go in hand. I mean, obviously, once you start building a lot of houses, you need to grow your hospitals, your schools. But maybe the wave of people first happens in the residential world, which is what I was seeing when I had to make the choice, like what I wanted to become, right? I never really had an interest in health, like nursing or doctor. And
that didn't get your attention at all.
I was like, I don't think that's for me. And I think maybe because one, like, some stuff grosses me out, but the other is because they're always inside hospitals, and I'm more of like a doer type person. I like projects. I like doing things with my hands.
You like to have your hands on.
Yes, I like to be active.
It got my attention, and just for like this community, I know a lot of people probably from here that they're not very familiar from the Valley. Here in Rio Grande Valley, it's a very tough place to live. But before I go or dive into the Rio Grande Valley, I also would love to ask you, how do you see yourself since you grew up? I'm also from La Frontera, from the border. Tell me, do you see, I mean, there is a big difference.
Oh, yes.
Because living once again in the border, like right, we have the border with Reynosa, Matamoros, and Brownsville. Even though that we're like so close and that we just have the border that divides the two countries, the lifestyle growing up in this place, how was your childhood? Like, I really would like for you to like give us details on that, because once again, a lot of people, they don't really know. First of all, very, very few people knows the south of Texas. But then again, getting to know the border.
The true
like
south.
The true side. Yes. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I actually lived in Reynosa for 12 years of my life. So I went to elementary or elementary, and like half of middle school. So I was in that school system, and obviously like living there. Everything was different. Like, you can go buy like your tortillas or Coke or anything. You just like 3 times a day, and you just walk like a couple of feet to the corner store. And here you have to like get in the car and like get ready, or nowadays you can do delivery, which is what I do. But just the food, the language, the culture, even though we're like so close, there's still like a gap that it's not bad, it's just different.
It is different.
And I've noticed that a lot, especially with the friends that grew up here. A lot of the things that they were used to, or even the language. I don't claim to speak proper Spanish. But some of the words that they were saying, I was like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't understand that word. But no, I mean, you get used to it. It's just a matter of accepting both sides and just understanding that there's differences, and that doesn't make one better than the other. It's just it's what's there, and you take the best of it. And if you don't like something, maybe like one thing that I don't know if I'm gonna be canceled for this, but enchiladas, like the American enchiladas versus the Mexican enchiladas. I'm like,
oh, there's a big difference.
Yeah, like this isn't the same. But I mean, it's not that it's good or bad. It's just different. I personally don't like it, and that's it. Yeah. You move on.
Since when did you realize that you wanted to be in the architectural or in the construction field? Did you always knew, or it was something that you, I don't know, as you were growing, you kind of like bump into it, or you decided how was the connection that you finally got to the point and say, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So like I said, I went to middle school, half of middle school in Mexico. In Mexico, they have what they call the technical programs, and they make you take a test, and it's like an assessment test of things. It was like, I don't know, like over 300 questions, and you're just answering. And there was like different technical paths that you could take according to that. But it's not like you could choose. It was whatever your test result was, that's what you would get into, right? Mm-hmm. And so I remember like there was computer science. And so I wanted to be in that because I was interested in learning computers and kind of just developing a career in computers. And so I took the test, and I thought that I could cheat the system. And so any computer related questions, like I would answer like I love this the most. It was like, rate, like, what do you like this about this subject from 1 to 5, like 1 being the most, 5 being the least, or something like that. So I'm like, I know for sure, like, I'm gonna get computer science. And then they called us all out. It was like, I don't know, over 300 kids, and they're going over the results, and they're like calling people out, like, okay, like computer science, and they're like, this. I didn't hear my name, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So then they start calling what they call industrial design, and they call my name. And I didn't even know what that was. So
you didn't even know what it was.
I had no idea.
No clue, no idea. It was just...
But whatever test this was, that's what
you
they
just
put me into. So I walk into the classroom, and they have like drafting tables, and they have like all these tools for drafting. And I start taking classes, and I start drafting using everything by hand. Nowadays we don't do it by hand, but that was what the class was about. And it was just industrial design about anything. It could be a door, it could be a chair. I think we did do a house and like different things like that. And so I'm like, this is kind of interesting.
Anyone in your family that had already done that field?
No.
Were interested? Anyone related that you can say, well, because, you know, I have my uncle or like someone, now I want to be like him?
Never even crossed my mind. Wow. My dad, he's a musician and a businessman. So he has like more of the artistic side that maybe like I took from it. And my mom, she's always like had her own business, so also a businesswoman. But nothing related to design, architecture, or even engineering. And
you never had like the curiosity to go into like to be an entrepreneur, like to get into business?
Yeah, I mean, I think just growing up and seeing like how much freedom my parents had, kind of being their own boss and making their own money, that is something that I still aspire to have one day. Okay. I think they've given me a really good example about that. But really, like, I kind of wanted to go into music, just like my dad. But I could never learn how to play an instrument, like the key tried teaching me like the guitar, the accordion. Like he plays all the instruments. And I tried, maybe I didn't try hard enough, but I gave up. And singing too, like I'm horrible.
So you did try it though. You tried something else.
Yeah, like I didn't take classes, but like, you know, I would be like, okay, Dad, like teach me this, teach me that, but nothing ever happened from that. So anyways, like long story short, I'm a senior in high school, and they're like, well, you need to start applying for college. Like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't know, like graphic design, like going back to something digital, something with computers, something about design. I've always kind of had like an artistic eye about like, I don't know, just putting things together. Like I remember when my parents were building their house, I kind of helped them out with the layout because I kind of had the eye for spatial. Like I'm kind of aware of my space, and I can be like, okay, like we need so much space to fit like a bed, like not make the room too big but not too small where things are tight, like just good enough, right? So
the space has a lot to do with it.
Yes,
like you can actually do great things, or you can just like mess it up, like not leaving enough space for something.
Yeah, then your whole space is unusable, and it's a waste of space. Yeah. And so I do remember like helping them out with the layout, and then like doing research. We had a class that you had to do research, like what you wanted to become. And again, like I never had an interest in healthcare, maybe engineering, but I'm like, no, that sounds too hard. And maybe like not very artistic, more like equation or like number like driven. I kind of just wanted like some freedom to be creative and be hands-on. I didn't know what it was. I just kind of wanted that. So some of the advisors, I was really lucky to, one, like my parents always kind of gave me a lot of advice and support, even though like none of them have a college degree. They've always been very supportive and given me the best advice that they could. And I actually listened to them, about who you hang out with and what's good for you, what's not. And if I did anything bad, like it was going to affect my life. Not, I mean, theirs, but really like,
So somehow you were, since when you were young, you were very mature.
Yes.
I mean, by listening to you and hearing you, it's like, wow. Yeah. Somehow it's like, yeah, I can try this, I can try that, but I still know what I want.
Yes.
So that's cool. How? Like, how can someone so young can be so sure about the things that you want to do? Do you have, like, siblings?
I do, yeah. I have two. So I was the only child for about 6 years. Then my sister came, and right after that, another sister. So, I guess maybe that had to do with it a little bit. I grew up around adult people. They claim that I learned how to like talk and have like a formal conversation, maybe not like the best pronunciation of words because I was still little, but they say that I could put full sentences like before a 1-year-old.
Wow.
I mean, there is a recording, so I do have proof of that.
They weren't lying, okay?
Yeah. But yeah, like my mom, she's always told me that like you always are mature, like you always know what you wanted, and you always somehow like learn the steps on, how to achieve it. But I do think like I said, like I had a lot of support from my parents, my family. They helped me with what they could, and once I made a decision, like I would tell them, hey, I want this, and they're like, well, we don't know how to get there, but if that's what you want, we'll support you. And so yeah, I told them that I wanted to leave the valley again. Like in my head, like there was.
You didn't like the valley, you said.
Not that I didn't like it, I just didn't see myself here. Growing in a career such as construction or architecture, I don't know, like I had that wrong vision that I would not be successful here.
And what made you change that? Because knowing very well that you're like tough, that you know what you want, obviously you went for it, you studied for that. So at what moment did you say, you know what, I was wrong, maybe there is a chance in here. Maybe I can make the difference here.
Yes.
What made you change your mind?
Family.
And
Not that they asked for it, not that they said like you need to come back. I just missed them. Like I had spent 6 years away for college.
You went away. Did you where did you went?
I went to A&M College Station.
Okay.
So it's about between 7-8 hour drive. And I still came. Like I would drive down like on a Friday, be here like all of Saturday, and then drive back on Sunday. And I did that like at least once a month during 6 years. So
I'm assuming that it was like once again, even though that it wasn't that far away from the valley, from Rio Grande, it's a difference. I mean, the lifestyle, just like living in San Antonio, it's another lifestyle for you guys if you guys don't know. But okay, so you were in Reynosa, and then you like over here in the valley, and then you moved 6 hours away from your home. Once again, and what made you come back? Like, what differences did you notice that you said, well,
and
never
then
mind?
I also spent some time in Austin. Because
another totally different place, different lifestyles.
Yes, that one was
different challenges.
Yes, because my end goal was to live in Austin. I thought that living in the capital of Texas was going to have the best opportunities for me, and was going to take my career to where I wanted to take it. And I could not have been more wrong.
Do you think that it's tough for a girl to kind of like go for their dreams and like, go away from their families and trying to, I mean, I know that for some families or for like anyone else, it might not, but I guess for our culture, it is tough, like leaving home and trying to go and live in different places or like just go for their dreams. It's kind of like, I don't want to say tough because it's not tough, but for us, it's kind of like, you don't want to detach from the family.
Yeah, and really like, I see that even with guys, like just Hispanic families, we're very protective, we're very tight knit, we always want to be together on top of each other sometimes.
I know. I'm like, really? Leave me alone. Go away.
Yeah, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of it comes with trust, right? And I think my parents and we always had that trust, and we always, I always had the trust to pick up the phone and like tell them like whatever was happening, whatever I was going through. And really, like when I was in college, like I was just in college, like you
were really focused on studying.
I was
and
really focused because my head was like, well, like if I'm away from my family, I'm not going to do anything wrong to like, hurt myself or hurt them in the process. I'm here for a purpose, and my purpose is to get a degree. So I got my first degree, I got my second degree, I have a master's. So after that was done, it was kind of like, okay, check. And again, my end goal was to end up in Austin. Okay. To practice in Austin, architecture. And so I started doing that, and I just realized how much I hated traffic. How much I hated, like, driving 7 miles to work, it would take me like sometimes up to an hour. And it was just 7 miles. Like I could have just taken a bike ride or something. And once I got to work, I loved it. Like the people that hire me and my coworkers, like it wasn't a big firm, but it was, they were great people. I always had their support. Any questions that I had, like they would answer them. They would take me to site, and they were all males, and they didn't have an issue like with me being a female and like intruding in their workspace or anything. And yeah, like I've been very blessed to be in the right spot, in the right place at the right time. However, later on, months later, I just realized that I didn't want that anymore. And
how did you realize that?
I would spend, so my work week It was, work, home, maybe gym, or, any errands that I had to run. And then again, it was very repetitive, very routine. And I was like, I'm not, even though like I'm still doing what I'm supposed to, like I'm not getting anything else out of it. Every weekend, like Friday would come, I would drive to the valley and then go back. And then Monday through Friday, same thing. And every weekend, I would come to the valley and I'm like, well, I mean, that should tell you something, right? Like, you want to be in the valley. You want to be with family. And I'm like, I've spent, at that time, I was like close to 6, maybe 8 years away from home. And I had missed so many birthdays. I didn't miss like holidays or anything, but I had missed so many birthdays, so many, just seeing my sisters grow. Like, I left when they were still like in middle school. And I came back and they were like, they looked like me. Like they were women already. Like they have grown. And like my cousins, my nieces and nephews and everyone. And I was like, I don't want to miss this. Like I want to be here. And if there's no opportunities, I'll look for my opportunities. Like that's not going to stop me, right? Like,
you know that you wanted to come back, you know that you wanted it to be to your family, but it was not an option. You wanted to stick and to stay in the career that you chose.
Oh, yes. It
was like no question.
No, there was no question about that. And I was blessed. I've always been very blessed that I had a family in the industry that I could come back to, and that they offered me like, hey, if you're not happy over there, we're more than happy to hire you back. Like, because I did my internships with them. So,
what was the biggest challenges that you faced while you were doing your externship or before you start practicing in the architecture? Especially because I know your job requires a lot to do with being in the field.
Yes.
So what was one of the biggest, can you share with us what was one of the biggest challenges and how do you overcome that?
Yes. Wearing high heels at a job site.
Really?
Yes, they wouldn't let
me. It can be tough. It can be very, very tough.
Yes, they wouldn't let me. They would, hey, go get your boots on. No, I don't know. I maybe I wouldn't take it like as a challenge in a way that like, to be afraid. Maybe it was a challenge to learn. What can I learn by being involved in the field? What can I learn by going to a job site? What can I learn about being in a meeting?
Because let's just say it for a lot of people that might not know, but in your field, working in the architecture or just in that industry, there's a lot of meetings, there's a lot of collaborations, there's a lot of communication that it has to get involved. There's a lot of people like working together in a project. And not only that, I guess at the beginning, yes, there has to be a lot of meetings. There's like a whole concept that you guys have to like brainstorming and then bringing all those like materials and all the stuff, like bringing into life. But then in one part of the process, you have to go in the field. You need to make sure that all the measurements, that all the materials, that everything is getting done like the way that you guys put it on the how's it called? How do you guys call them? The scripts, the sketch,
plans.
The plans.
Yes.
So you have to make sure that everything stays in track.
Right.
But then again, mostly keep in mind all these places, construction, being in the field, they're mostly men's. Guys that they know that they have to keep in track, that they have to go in a fast pace, and they're guys, right? I mean that's just reality. So you get like, imagine her like getting there into like the building and start like telling someone, oh guys, you know what? I just want to make sure that you guys did this, or I want to know the process.
Yes.
How? Like, tell us more about that, because it is tough. It's difficult. It seems easy, but it's not.
Yeah. I think.
How do you handle those situations?
There's been tough situations where, like, maybe like my job is to make sure that, like you said, things are getting done the way that we plan them to be. Because we put a lot of effort and a lot of thought, and not only that, there's a purpose always. And like every time we do a building, there's a purpose, either to serve a community, to serve a client, to enhance, a facility, or to improve the quality of life. Sometimes it's a clinic. Sometimes it might be a school. Sometimes it might be a renovation, a library, higher education. And so we're there to provide a service. So my job is to make sure that everything that we plan for and that we coordinated and that the owner wants for the end goal, which is, to serve the community, it's there. So I do take that very serious, but at the same time, I don't think to take anything personal. At least I try not to. Sometimes it's hard, but at the end of the day, you have to understand, like, we're all human. We all have feelings. We all have emotions. We still have to work together.
And we're talking about guys and girls. Keep that in mind, because once again, well, I'm sharing this too because I was in the field once. I remember like 3-4 years ago that I was in the same field. I was remember when I was arriving to any particular building that we were like working on, right? And I was seeing all these guys, like doing the stuff, putting the Chiroc, like doing the doors, everything else, like the painters doing their stuff. And then me getting there, arriving, because obviously part of my duties also were like to making sure that I was taking the right measurements and the stuff like that. And every time, same thing, I learned my lesson, because at the beginning I was always showing up to those buildings like with heels, with my jeans sometimes, and I have to admit it, I did it once. I showed up in a dress. And I was like, never, ever again. I learned my lesson, and I'm like, never, ever again. But I was always remember seeing these guys like just looking at me, staring at me, and like, oh, okay, cool. Like, okay, you guys are like coming from like to do this. And I'm like, yes, I'm here for that. And they were like always asking me, and where are the guys? I'm like, what guys? And they were like, well, yeah, who's going to be taking the measurements? And I'm like, me. That's what I'm here for. Yeah. And their faces are like, you're joking, right? I'm like, no. And then keep also in mind, I'm 5'1". I'm very short, right? Me too. And they were like, do you need any help? Yeah. So that's the situation that we're talking about right here, right now, because once again, it's a field that mostly the where you see the most is guys, men.
Yes.
And they're always are very used to work with them, yes. Being tough, being men, right? We have to say it like that. So whenever they see us as a girls showing up in their field, I kind of feel that there's still some somehow,
there's a gap.
Yes, there's a gap where they kind of feel like invaded in a way of like a woman here. How do you see it?
Well, I think it depends, right? Like if we're generalizing. We can generalize all day, but
no, not everyone is like that. I have to say it too.
Yeah, not everyone is like that. I can share like a couple of stories where like maybe I've asked like, hey, like what's going on here or whatever, and like maybe they've ignored me and I'm like, okay, whatever, like I'll move on. There's like we all have a job at a job. We all have a job everywhere, right? Like this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. And so like my job again is to make sure that things are being done right. So if something's not being done right, there's a process, right? I need to go tell this person, and this person is going to go take care of it. Like, there's no need for me to start arguing with someone that maybe I didn't need to even be addressing. However, there's nothing wrong with, like, trying to get things done and trying to work them out. Maybe one thing that's helped me is that I can speak Spanish. And that I can be like, oh, okay, like, how are we doing this? How are we doing that? Like,
it's easier to get along with them.
Yeah, like, well, the plans kind of call for this. Like, can we look at it? And, you just kind of...
I guess respect and communication is key.
Yeah, and it goes both ways. Like, I can't just walk in at a job site and demand respect. Like, I have to conduct myself with, with professionalism. And, like I said, like, there's always a process to addressing anything or to doing something. Now, there's meetings where, like, all the directors and all the owners and everyone's there, and sometimes those are the most unprofessional meetings. But like I said, like I don't take anything personal. If anything, I try to learn from that experience and move on.
Always be open to learn something.
Yeah, there's always something to be learned about anything, good or bad.
But you've been seeing, especially, I had seen a lot improvements, and I've been seeing a lot, like now in these days, more women are getting into those fields. They're like getting into getting those jobs. I've been seeing them like getting involved a lot more. How can you obviously you like work in the field, right?
Yeah.
So have you seen any improvements?
Not really. The first job that I had, it was 4 girls, for women, and 2 males. So it was majority women.
Wow.
Yeah. This current job that I have, I think maybe it's like a handful of us. There's still more males. I've been interacting a little bit more with females on the contractor side, but it's still not that many. So I have seen, what I can tell you that I have seen, it's females doing construction itself.
Okay.
Recently I had a job where a female was doing the electrical installation, the rough ends, and I mean, I was surprised to see that, but I was happy to see that.
Yes, that's my point.
I was happy to see it. Yeah, that's one I can remember that I was like, oh wow, like she's doing that. I'm like, good for her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because now I kind of like feel the women are taking the initiative to open up to different careers. Like not different careers, to actually do things that they like, even though that they might not seem, or they might not be for women. And I don't want to say for women, I don't want to put it like that, but it's we mostly see guys, taking over these fields.
Yeah.
But now, once again, I mean, I've been noticing that women are taking the risk, that they're taking the initiative to go for it and to be there.
And you know what? I think something that I have to share is that, I mean, obviously we all see that, right? That it's mainly males.
Yes.
So the way that I would dress was very masculine to try to make up for me. And I would do that maybe like without knowing, like not on purpose.
Just kind of like wanted it to fit in in their field.
Maybe to make them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't even needed to do that, but that was what was in my head, like
unconsciously you kind of were like,
yes.
Let me just do it.
Yes, like I would I would dress with like there's nothing wrong with like dressing that way, but if I knew that I had to go to a job site, I would wear like a long sleeve, button up, jeans, boots, put my hair like tied up in a bun, no makeup, like I just I would show up.
But how you were feeling? Because once again, I mean, I don't have to say it. Look at her. She's like really, really pretty. But don't you feel that you were kind of like giving up? Yes, you. I'm talking about you. Don't you feel also that you were kind of like feeling your feminine side in a way? I mean, obviously we cannot show up with a dress and like being with makeup and heels, but then again, do you feel once again that it's a gap, like for a woman's? It's because it's kind of like difficult to choose and say, okay, well, I really want to be part of it, but then again, how can I still be part of it being me?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and like I said, like I try to, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but maybe like hide my identity to try to fit in, so that I could be taken serious. And not that I wasn't being, but I just thought that might help. Especially like being new to the field, new to the community, because I moved, right? Like all those years that I spent over there, maybe, they didn't know me. And it's not a very big community here. So now that I've been involved a lot more, I'm more comfortable to like have nails, like show up with jewelry, show up with maybe not high heels, but, just more myself with my hair done. Like today, I had a job site visit, and this is how I showed up. Other than I just had boots on, and that's just to protect myself. Because if I could, I would wear high heels.
I mean, there's still a protocol that you guys have to follow in safety wise.
Correct.
That obviously we have to. You guys have to respect. I keep like still talking about it because I used to work in that field as well, and you have to follow the protocol. But once again, I think it's also very important for as a woman not to lose our identity. And I noticed that's something else that I've been seeing a lot here in the community. And I even I know a month ago, or like I don't remember like how many weeks ago, I heard that it was even what's it called? Oh my God. It's this girl who's actually launching clothes for women. Okay. That she works in the field. Yeah. And she even make how do you call them? Like people were like actually walking, showing the styles of the clothes. Okay,
yeah,
it went away.
I know what you mean, yeah.
But the point is that it's really good.
Fashion show.
Like a fashion show. Yes. There you go. Like a fashion show. And I love to see that because once again, yes, you guys can stay in the safety wise, you guys can follow all the protocol, but once again, still being a woman.
Right. Still feel pretty.
Yeah, why not?
I think that's good. And I think I don't have to wear, I don't go out to a job site like every day. But when I go, like I want to feel, first of all, comfortable about my boots, that they're not too heavy, not too big, that I'm not going to trip, because if I'm using them for safety, I want them to fit properly. And exactly. I don't want them to be way too heavy or too loose where I could trip and then hurt myself. So it's kind of productive. And there's a brand, I think you met her last year.
Yeah.
That makes the boots, and I've been wearing those to work, and I love those boots.
And it's a woman that works in the field that came out with this idea, and she also became an entrepreneur. And she brings all these like fashion styles, like boots and like pants.
I think pants.
And that's what I really love, because you see, that's what I'm saying. I've been noticing that somehow women are taking the initiative to come up with new ideas, still following the protocols, but still being them, being yourselves, like being a woman. I also noticed that you participate a lot with the community.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Yes, like I said, once I came back, and I've always wanted more. Like, what else can I do? How else can I help? What else can I, be part of? And this being a small community, I realized that the more networking that you do, the more relationships that you create, the more you can grow. Not only in a career level, but in a personal level. There's just so much to learn from each other, and that's one thing that I'll never say like I have enough experience doing this or doing that, because there's always a new challenge comes, a new thing to learn. Like it's, and I love that. Like if they ask me like, do you want this same project that you've done before? Do you want this new one that you don't know anything about? Like I'll take that. Like I'll take the challenge and I'll learn from it. But yes, going back to being involved in the community. Yes,
you're going to speak to colleges. You like.
Yes. So besides helping in my career, in my industry, which is architecture, engineering, and construction, I get involved in helping young kids achieve their goals. And I want them to know my story so that they know that it's possible. I grew up in Mexico. My parents didn't go to college. I attended one of the best schools in Texas without being the first graduate in my family to attend college, to have a master's degree, and being able to bring that back to the Valley.
How do you feel? You coming back home with your degree?
Yes, And more than anything, I want them to know that story, that I thought the Valley was not the place for me, and it proved me wrong, and I've been the happiest here. I've grown so much, and I've made so many connections and relationship because I do feel because this is where I felt comfortable, and it just helped me develop that. So I, more than anything, I want them to know that even if they go away for college, that
they can seek those opportunities somewhere else, but then also not to forget where they're like coming from. And because once again, a lot of them, they were like born here, raised here, have their families here. And what you just did, it's so inspiring because you had the opportunity, you actually left, but then you made your choice and come back. And now everything that you learned, you're like sharing it with us. Yeah. And I include myself because I live here, my kids live here. I was just like recently once again involved in one of the conference here at the island with all of you guys, with the construction companies, engineers, architects, and that really impact my life in a way that I notice and I realize that sometimes as a communities, we always get so much involved in our daily routines and things that sometimes, and I have to say it, they're like not really that important. And the real problems that we have here as a community with the whole environment, you guys are like taking care of that. You guys are like putting all your effort, all your dedication to bring new innovations, to come out with those solutions, to enhance the valley, but also to provide value to our future generations. Right. And that's a lot.
Yes.
And sometimes we don't see it. When I was sitting there in the classes listening to all the engineers or like whoever was like presenting the classes, I was just like listening to everything that they were saying, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like all the things that they deal with, and then I go back to my house and I complain. How do you guys do that?
Yes. It's again, like I think everyone that I've met in this industry, they are dedicated. They love what they do.
They love what they do.
We're very passionate about it. So if we're going to go in and do something, we're going to give it our all. And maybe that's why sometimes emotions get in the way. But that's a good thing because that means that we care. Whether it's an engineer, whether it's a contractor, whether it's a client.
It's a lot of pressure though.
Yes, it is. Yes.
How do you handle those emotions?
I think it's just, you just have to see it from their perspective and understand that we all have a job, and if their job is to pressure us, there's a reason behind it, and maybe it's because, hey, the community really needs this. Mm-hmm. And like if we're putting pressure to the contractor, I mean, there's a reason for that. Like there's nothing. Any situation that I've been involved in, it's nothing because like I just don't like you and I just want to make your life miserable. No, there's always a reasoning behind that, and I think if you just see it with that perspective, like you can start learning to be better and to respect each other. Like I said, I think like we all care. And we're all passionate about that. Sometimes that's why emotions get in the way. But it just means that we care. And we care just so much that we want to do our best. And yeah, like the pressure gets to you. But you know what? Like if I had to choose again. And if I had to pick my career and what I've been through, I would do it all over again.
Wow. I knew you were going to say that.
I would do it all over again.
Wow, you can tell that you really, really, really love what you do.
Yes.
How do you feel? How Yesenia feels whenever you walked into like those schools that you see all these students, that a lot of them, because I also have to mention, especially now in these days that, I don't know, kids about their like, I don't know, graduates, like high school graduators, like 19, 21, 25, even 25 years old, they still don't know what they want. They still don't know how to pick because it's like a lot of pressure. Like, are you kidding me? How am I going to know? What am I going to go for? Like, I don't even know what I want in my life right now. So seeing those students being undecided, and then you walked into those classes and tell them and sharing your story with them, how do you feel?
I think my intent when I do that is just to encourage them to keep on going, to keep their career going, even if it's not in architecture, even if it's not an engineer in our construction, just to encourage them to keep on a path of education, because even if they don't know what they want, I think we eventually figure it out. Now, if they have questions, I tell them, like, well, what interests you? Like, you don't have, like, for instance, like, if your dad is a doctor, like, can you identify yourself being a doctor? If it's a yes, then go for it. But if it's a no and you're like, well, like video games, hey, there's a career in that nowadays.
Mm-hmm. No, it is.
And I think even it's kind of like a two-blade sword, because there's just so many things to choose.
Too many
nowadays.
options.
Too many
options that I think
Yes.
that's why they feel so, like, since they have so many things at the plate, it's like, well, never mind, because I have too many.
Yes. But I mean, you can still, and I tell them, like, well, maybe you still become a doctor and you can still play video games. Like, just take your career serious, or, whatever it is that you're going to do, focus on it and go through with it. Now, if you're not enjoying it, you're not liking it anymore, well, then make a plan and then follow it through. But yeah, like, my intent whenever I go talk to them, like, I've gone to elementaries, middle schools, career fairs, higher ed, incoming freshmen. Yeah, that's just my advice. Like, if you already know what you want to do, make a plan and then follow it. If at any point, you start disliking it, I mean, also, like, you're not going to make yourself miserable. Like, you also have to enjoy life. And if that's something that you're going to do forever, you have to love it.
During your journey, have you ever, like, have to face something that make you doubt about the things that you're doing right now? That maybe something, what's your fear? One of your fears that you say, you know what, I just have to, like, face them, but I don't know how to do it, that make you kind of, like, doubt being in the place that you're doing right now, that you are right now? Because it's tough.
It is.
You guys always are dealing with time. You always have to, like get the job done in certain, like, a time frame, right? You deal with a lot of pressure. There's a lot of people that gets involved. It's like a lot of factors that it counts. Anything, like, what is your fear in the field that Yesenia can say, you know what, I wasn't even aware of it, but now that I'm facing it, like, how do you face fears, in other words?
I don't think about it. I just do it.
You just do it. You just go for it.
No, I think, I think college was a big lesson for me. Being away from home and being in a completely different culture that I had to not adapt, but understand and accept. And being a college student away from home and just college classes, like, it was a big hit of reality for me. Like, I wasn't the best student in high school, but, I was a good student. And
you were able to face pressure.
I wasn't, well, like, I guess in high school, like, maybe I didn't have to try that hard. And I was able to be good enough, right? And I wasn't used to failing, like, in general, like, I would do a project and I would always get praise from my teachers, and I would do an essay and, they loved it and this and that. So when I got to college and I got, like, a 60 or, like, a C and I'm like, college is not for me. Like, I almost gave up.
Wow.
As a freshman. And so I remember, like, the first midterm, I think, that I took, and I think it was like it was a history class, I think. That's what I remember. And it was like either a 68 or 58. It was not a 78. I just remember it being like, a really bad grade. And I saw it in like I just felt defeated. I felt like I just wanted to go back to my dorm, pack my bag, and go home. I did not. I was like, this is not for me. Like, I'm failing. I'm bad. I'm not gonna make it. And I was like, why am I here? Like, I'm done. So I remember I called my mom, and she was like, well, like, I mean, have you submitted all your homework? And I'm like, yes, but this is a midterm. Like, like this is like 50% of my grade or whatever it was. And she was like, well, just like, go on about your day and, like go talk to your professor, like see what can you do. Maybe you can do like extra credit, whatever. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm so over this. Next class I show up. And I think the highest grade was like, I don't know, like 10 points higher than mine or something like that. And so they did a huge curve, and I ended up getting like a B+.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, like maybe college is not that bad.
Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I can handle it.
I'm like, maybe we're all that bad. So, yeah, like, maybe like taking, I mean, there's, of course, and there's many other times that I failed and, maybe that I haven't gotten the result that I wanted, but taking it one day at a time. And
that's what makes the difference.
And keeping like a mental tab of lessons learned, so you don't have to do that same mistake again. Especially with design and construction, like there's just so many components in a building that our drawings are not perfect, and things get missed. But again, like, okay, next project, I'm not gonna miss that, and you just kind of keep going like that, and just try your best. And as long as I know that I'm trying my best, I can sleep good at night. You can
handle it, and you can keep going.
Yeah, and I sleep very well.
That's good. That's good. I really love that.
Yes.
How do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
That's a good question. I've been in this industry since 2012, which is a more or less about 12 years already. That's when I had my first internship. I was still in school, but I had my first internship. That's when I worked on my first project, which is the Los Asados restaurant on Ware. I don't know if you've ever been to. It's like by the expressway.
I haven't. I heard about it, but I haven't be actually there.
Yeah, so that's one project that I actually, it was the first real project that I worked on. And it's a project that I can drive down Ware Road and see it.
How do you feel every time that you pass by? Or have you already went inside?
Yes. I go inside and I have my caldo de res.
It's like, I did this.
and I look at the walls and I remember drawing the walls. And I go through the main entrance and I remember drawing the entrance. And there's a wall, right, where you can't see the kitchen. Well, I know what's behind that wall. I
can tell you what it is, okay?
Yes. And I know, like, we did, like, the refrigerators and, like, all that stuff, all that good stuff. And it makes me very happy and very accomplished to be part of our buildings, our community, improving, like I said, our community and our quality of life, whether it's through a restaurant, through schools, higher education buildings, for professionals, future professionals, and clinics, and even like city halls, like being involved in all that and being a little part of it, because I can't take full credit for everything. There's, like you said, there's a lot of people working behind the scenes and a lot of us putting a lot of our time and effort, but being able to like drive or being inside those buildings is just so rewarding, and that's why
your face is glowing.
That's why I would keep choosing what I do.
Yes, you can tell. Like, you can tell your face completely is like glowing. I was about to ask you what drives you, like what make you get up in the morning and like still doing what you do. But I think you already answered that. Look at her face. I'm gonna do a close up. She was talking and you were like glowing. It's something that you really, really, really like. You're enjoying it. Yeah, and you like putting your heart, every piece of it, everything that you do. You're doing it with the purpose.
With the purpose, yeah. And to go back to the question, like where I see myself in the next 5 years, well, keep building our community more and more, and being able to say like, hey, I was part of that project, I was part of that building. Community-wise, I see myself maybe taking more leadership roles in boards, being able to make the decisions of what gets built. I think more than being part of it is wearing the hat of a decision maker. I think they have the most pressure because once they promise something, it has to be delivered.
It has to be delivered.
It has to be delivered, and they have the most pressure out of all of us. And I would be honored if I could be part of that decision making process in any way that I can.
Wow, and I'm pretty sure that you're gonna make it. I mean, you're already doing it. I mean, I've been seeing you get involved in so many things, and you're already making a difference. And I'm so happy that you're like part of us, that you're like here, that you took that you make the choice to come back to us. Thank you for not giving up on us.
Yes.
And before we wrap up, where like all this community from Prende to Magia can find you? Do you have your social medias?
Yes, I have Instagram, and I have a Facebook and LinkedIn.
And they can find you, or they can find you under Yesenia Tijerina?
Yesenia Suchil, so it's still my maiden name. So Suchil, Suchil.
Okay, well, you guys already know where to find her. And anything else that you want to mention? Anything else that you want to add?
No, I'm just very thankful, very blessed for everyone that has been a part of my journey. I want to thank them, and I have I still have the opportunity to see them every now and then, and they'll have my gratitude forever. Going from my teachers that encouraged me to pursue what I wanted, my parents, of course, that kept me going, my family, my friends, that they're always bragging about me.
Well, that's good, and they should.
And my mentors that I've had through my path, and all the people that I've interacted with. I want them to know that they've been part of my journey, part of my life, part of my process, and that I've learned something from them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for once again being one of our leaders from the community. Thank you for taking your message, sharing your message with the students, with everyone from here, from the community. It's possible. There is opportunities here. Yes. There's a lot of people who are staying here, that they're sharing their path, their journeys, that they're here also to help you guys, to guide you guys, to give you the tools that you guys might need, or maybe just share with you resources where you guys can find these tools. Ask for help. There's a lot of people here that are willing to help. And once again, Yesenia, thank you so much for being in Prende tu Magia, and thank you so much for once again keep inspiring all these students, and for keep doing what you do.
Of course, anything that I can help with, I'll be more than happy to.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for being for hearing Prende tu Magia. And once again, if you guys know someone, share this video with any friends that you might know that it's interested in the architectural field, and also whoever's willing to make a difference here in the Valley or anywhere that you guys choose. Please share this episode with them. And once again, we'll see you next time in Prende tu Magia. Bye.